Okay, we are live. This is week 4 of our Essential Piano Teacher piano lessons that I teach for piano teachers all over the world. Now, we are live. I'm just going to test a few settings, make sure everything looks okay. Give me one moment to test these. Let me check to make sure the sounds okay. Let me test to make sure that. All right, that sounds good. I'm going to go to the overhead view right now. Okay. Okay, I think that sounds good. Let me just double check. Okay, I think that's sounding okay. Okay, just a simple little warm up. Today is the fourth week of the month of November. And every week we have different lessons that we teach and we talk about. This is for piano teachers. I'm doing this one live. Ordinarily, this is just for the piano teachers who have signed up for our weekly online group piano lessons that we do every week. We have 4 lessons every month. The first week of every month, we focus on the cool song and focus on essential piano exercises from my cool song series and essential piano exercise series. The second week of every month, we focus on what I refer to as theory therapy to help musicians learn how to incorporate music theory in their piano playing. It's really the practical application of music theory. And with piano teachers, we talk about how to teach music theory the fun way. And then week 3, we focus on innovative improvisation. Week 4 is creative composition. So today I want to show you how you can start to compose music of your own, how you can create your own compositions, and then how you can, if you're a piano teacher, teach piano students how to compose music of their own. Let me go to the overhead view and I'm going to show you some simple ways. When I am composing whatever it is for any of my albums, any of my new videos that I've come out with for music. As an example, this book is my Essential New Age Piano Exercise book. This has 20 original compositions that I've composed in a New Age style, where we have New Age sounding music. And I tell students and piano teachers, I want them to be able to not only play my compositions that I have created and composed, I want piano teachers and piano students to be able to compose music of their own. So today we're going to be talking about how to compose music specifically in a new age style. We've talked a little bit about this before, but I want to show you some simple ways that you can take simple patterns and start to create and compose music in that style. Now, to start off with, I actually want to show you a few different videos, have you listen to some of these soundtrack or scores, I guess. Now, I have recently one of my most recent albums is actually Adventure Awaits. And the book Adventure Awaits, we actually have 13 fun pieces that I composed. I'm going to show you some videos from those. Let me share a video right now. I'm going to open this up and I'll add a video for you that you can watch. And I'm going to explain what I'm talking about as we go through and talk about how to compose music in your own style, similar to this. So as an example, let me open up Adventure Awaits and then the videos. Now, this one is actually titled, well, there are a few I want to show you. We're going to start with this one right here. It is titled Call to Arms. Okay, let me just have you watch this video for a second. All right, so that was Call to Arms. We're going to come back here to the front. Let me share the sheet music from the book, and I'll show you for a second. I'm going to share we'll share this right here. Now, the adventures, it's Adventure Awaits is the book. Let me go down. Like I said, we have Adventure Awaits, The Journey, Forward March, Dreams of the Heart, Onward, Forgotten Battle. So down on page 36, I'm just going to scroll through and show you some of these. This is Adventure Awaits, and then we have The Journey, Forward March, and you can go through and you can listen to all of these. Dreams of the Heart. You can listen to the album on Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, Amazon, Onward. So I'm just kind of scrolling through. The Forgotten Battle right there. Fearless. Let the Games Begin. Okay. Oh, sorry. Clicked on something. And then Disillusioned. So again, you can see this, and the PDF book is available on my website. The paperback book is available on Amazon. So Call to Arms. We're going to go down to what we just listened to. So there's Heroism right there. Fortitude. Okay. The Champion's Creed. So I'm just scrolling through some of these right here to show you what we have. I'm going to go back to Call of Arms. Sorry, I kind of skipped over it. It is back on page 36, I believe. There we go. So Call to Arms. Look at this for a second. Now, when I just played the music and you heard, we had that low E. So this is the chord progression that we're following. We start with an E minor chord, and technically we're in the key of G major, but E minor is the relative minor. So the right hand starts off doing this funky pattern. See what's happening with the right hand there? Let me go to the keys overhead so you can see what I'm talking about. This is Call to Arms. I'm going to go to the overhead view right here. Let's go to that angle. And then you can see what I am talking about. We're in the key of E minor. Hold on, let me make sure I can see the music. If I can't see the music, it's not going to help you as I'm playing it. So watch what happens. The left hand is on this E down here. It's an E octave interval. So we're doing these octave intervals. Again, if I go back over here and I share the page where you can see what I'm doing, I'm going to share this one again. So the left hand starts off doing octave intervals. Now the chord progression is E minor. We do that for 2 measures. Then we go to C major, 2 measures. Then we go to A minor, 2 measures. And then we play B minor for 2 measures. Now the right hand, if you look at what the right hand is doing right here, I'm essentially just playing an E minor chord. That's all I'm doing. As I'm playing that, I'll come back to the top view right here again. Watch what happens with the right hand. So the right hand is here playing an E minor chord, and then I'm going to play this. That's all I'm doing with the right hand. The left hand is just holding down the E octave interval. That's all I'm doing with the right hand. Now I go up an octave. Now, my left hand is jumping around. Essentially, with the left hand, I'm just playing octave intervals, and I'm jumping from one register to the next. A octave interval, to the A octave interval, then B octave interval, to the B octave interval. I'm jumping around with my left hand, while the right hand is just doing that pattern. The right hand kind of repeats that pattern over and over again, and then I go up an octave. That is all I am doing. If I go back over here for a second, I'm just going to show you the first part of the music video that I came out with. And again, you can go through. Let me add this back to the stage right here. Oh, I guess I have to rewind that a little bit. That's what the book cover and the album look like. But watch the beginning again. I've added guitar to this acoustic classical guitar. See what we did right there? That is what I'm doing. My left hand is just playing those octave intervals. Sorry, I'll go back here again. Now again, we go back over here. Look, that's all I'm doing with my right hand. The change comes about from that left hand pattern. See, the left hand is kind of changing the chord progression, but the right hand is just playing the same thing. That's why in the music, it says E minor, and then it says E minor slash C, E minor slash A, E minor slash B, and then back to E minor, because we're following that chord progression. Again, a very simple chord progression. Look what the left hand is doing. E minor, C major, A minor, B minor. But the right hand is kind of creating this repetitious pattern over and over again. Let me go back to the overhead view right here. As you play that, and this again is Call to Arms. This is from my book, Adventure Awaits. But we just have this pattern repeated over and over again. As straight eighth notes playing. Then we go up an octave with the right hand, and the left hand is just still following that same progression. Okay, let me go back to the sheet music just right here, because we're going to talk about how you can start to compose music of your own doing this. Let me go to the next page. Okay, we follow that same progression until we hit about measure 25, I believe. At measure 25, I start changing things up a bit. See, the right hand is just coming down. It's following the same progression, but watch what is happening with the right hand. The right hand is now doing this. Oh, hold on for a second. I actually hit the wrong thing, and that made it really, that changed. Okay, hold on. We're going to minimize that. Okay. I enlarged my sheet music, and it took over the entire page. So it covered everything. All right. So the right hand is just doing this. We're starting here again. Then we're going to do the octave interval. And now the pinky is just going to descend, coming down. Again, this is according to the E minor scale. These are intervals. If you can practice doing your broken and blocked intervals, it's very, very helpful, especially when composing music of your own. This is a prime or unison first in the key of E minor, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth or octave. So I'm coming down. See that? No, actually, I only go to the G, sorry. That's all I'm doing. My left hand is still following that chord progression. But now the right hand is descending. And then I do the same thing. I just go up an octave. I'm doing the same pattern, the same progression. We're going up and going down, just moving around. That's all we're doing with that entire progression. Now we do that until we get to measure 41. Now we start slowing things down a bit. As we start slowing things down here in measure 41, we're preparing for measure 49 because I've changed the elements a bit. If I come back to the overhead view, let me show you. I'll come back here. The right hand is doing this. Now, the left hand is going to be doing those octave intervals still, okay? Again, the right hand is just doing an octave interval. And then we come down here. Now watch what happens right here. We do this progression. It's meant to be gentle, kind of reverent, but we do this. See how we did that? We shifted from doing this pattern of going from that one theme or that one element, we shifted and went into this pattern. And then we go back to doing kind of those octave intervals again. We start doing those octave intervals, kind of moving back and forth. If I go back to the sheet music here, you can see starting in measure 49, we change. We have that very gentle left hand pattern, but guess what I'm doing? I'm taking chords and breaking them apart. That's all we're doing in this entire progression. We are taking E minor, B major, D major, A major, and I'm taking the chords and breaking them apart. If you look right there, there's 49, okay, E minor, B major, D major, and A major. Those are just chords that are broken apart. If you look at the E minor as an example, the left hand is just playing a broken E minor triad. And then we go to the B major, but it's in first inversion. Instead of root position, we play D sharp, F sharp, B. That's what my left hand is doing. And then I play the D major chord, root position. And then I'll shift this over. I play A major. Again, it's inverted, first inversion. We have the C sharp and the A. When you play that, if you are looking at that entire progression, it's E minor, B major, D major, A major. That's what I'm playing there. That's all I'm doing. Let me go back to the overhead view, and you can see as I'm playing it, watch. Okay, I'm playing that pattern. Now, before that, we had just done this. Again, the chord progression is E minor, but I'm playing the first inversion. In root position, it's E, G, B. I'm playing first inversion, which was G, B, E. See that? Then I play the C major triad instead of root position, which is C, E, G. I'm playing the second inversion. First inversion is E, G, C. Second inversion is G, C, E. So we do this. Then I play A minor root position. Then B major root position, followed by the B major triad in second inversion. I just play the same chord, I just invert it. That's all I did. Watch. And my left hand does the octave intervals. That's all I'm doing. If I go back to the sheet music here, and I'll show you the sheet music, okay, look at that. Measures 45. That's what I just played. 45, 46, 47, and 48. That is what we are working on. Now, again, this is from my book, Adventure Awaits. This is actually the piece that is titled Call to Arms. The reason why I'm showing this to you and the reason why I'm having you practice doing this is because I want you to try to compose something in this style. Now, if I go back to the music video that I made for this that I shared on my YouTube channel, and I'll show you, this is in the middle of the music video, but watch. I'll show you where the part I just played, we go through the first page and then we move to the second page. This is measure 25 right there. Measure 33 right there. It's measure 41, what I played for you. Measure 45. That's what I just barely played. Measure 49. Okay, look at that again. That's what we're playing right there, where we start to play a little more reverently. E minor, B major, D major, A major. It's a simple chord progression. It's not too difficult, but I'd like to have you try to compose music of your own following this simple pattern. Let me show you. I'm going to go back to the overhead view, and you can take my chord progression that I used with the piece Call to Arms from Adventure Awaits, my book. But again, E minor. Just start with an E minor triad. You can play in root position. You can play in first inversion. But E minor, go to B major, go to D major, go to A major. And you can do any inversion. We start with this. And then I go up an octave. What if you took that chord progression? Again, it's a simple E minor to the B major, to the D major, to the A major. We're in the key of E minor, which is the relative minor to G major. We only have one sharp. Now, when I'm playing that E minor, if you noticed, we have a sharp where we have the C sharp. That's not part of the G major key signature. But when you have E minor, I threw in a C sharp, and then we have that D sharp that is right there as well. That is following the harmonic minor scale. That is what we are doing. We're following the harmonic minor scale. And then the chord progression is created from that E minor, A major. This is the B major chord, which is why I threw that in there, okay? And then you can play that. Watch the left hand. Now, let's start to compose something of your own, following that chord progression. E minor, B major, D major, A major. What if you just started doing something like this? I'm going to take and do a perfect fifth interval with my left hand. Okay, following the chord progression, E minor, then we go to B major, then D major, and then A major. So my left hand, what if I did this? Now, I'm not playing or following even my piece called Arms that I showed you. That was just to demonstrate. But you could take that progression, E minor, B major, D major, A major, and try to compose something. What if I did this again? My pinky is going down, it's descending. Now, you wouldn't play with these fingers pulled back. I'm just doing that for demonstration purposes. See, that's my D major triad. Now, this is my A major chord, first inversion, but I'm just playing the C sharp and the A. With the right hand, what if you took the notes from the E minor chord, and you could even start to play these 5 notes right here, E, F sharp, G, A, B, and you could play around with those. Now I went down to my B major chord. Remember, it's B major first inversion. So instead of playing these 5 notes, what if I went down and I played the D sharp, F sharp, G, A, B, those 5 notes? just played around with them. Now we're in D major. So I'm going to play these 5 notes, D, E, F sharp, G, A. That's the D major pentascale, the first 5 notes of the full D major scale. Now I'm going to play these 5 notes. This is my A major triad in first inversion. And I'm just adding F sharp and G sharp. So you can start to play around following that simple chord progression. Remember, E minor, B major, A major, and then we're going to end, D major, and then A major. I jumped the gun. Yeah, E minor, B major, D major, and then A major. You can do any inversion. I'm just playing E minor in root position, E, G, B, and then I'm playing the B major chord in root position. It's B, D sharp, F sharp. I'm playing first inversion, D sharp, F sharp, B. And then I'm playing D major in root position. And then I'm going to play A major in first inversion. So let me just create something and play around with this. Descending, I played an E octave interval, then I played a D sharp octave interval, then I played a D octave interval, and then I can play a C sharp octave interval. Those notes are contained in the chords from my chord progression as I'm descending, going down. And you can start to play around. Guess what I'm doing? I'm just taking the notes from those chords, B minor, B major, D major, and A major, and I'm breaking them apart and playing them any order, any position, any rhythm. This is an E minor triad. If I add the octave interval, that's an E minor octave chord. I can play those notes any rhythm, any order. And then we had the B major triad, B, D sharp, F sharp. If I add the octave interval, then I have B and B. That's the B major octave chord. I can play those notes any order, any rhythm. And then I can go to my D major chord. This was the best inversion. You can do root position or first inversion or second inversion. To keep my pinky right here from descending, I did an inversion. This is root position, first inversion, second inversion. So I can break those notes apart. We have A, D, F sharp, and A. I'm playing them any order. Here I just started with the top A, then I went down to the bottom A, then I played D, and then F sharp. Now this is my A major octave chord, A major triad is A, C sharp, E. A major octave chord is A, C sharp, E, A. So I can just break those chords apart and just start to play them. Remember, the chord progression is E minor, B major, D major, A major. And you can just start to create and play around. Again, it's a simple chord progression. And I was using this example from my piece Call to Arms, where I did this. Now, we have so many different chord progressions we can play around with. Let me come back to the front view here for a second. There are so many chord progressions you can use. This is a very simple basic chord progression. We're in the key of E minor, relative minor to G major. And again, if I go back into the sheet music here, you can see I start using the basic chords, basic triads, and we start creating some fun sounds. That's all we are doing right here. Let me actually, I zoomed in on this a bit, so I'll pull that down so you can see that a little better. Hold on. There we go. Okay. All right. That way you can see what I have right there. But look at measure 63. Actually, I'll zoom in a little right there, 63, so you can see that better. Look at 63. I'll pull this up right there. We go back to what I had in the beginning. The left hand is playing the C octave interval. Then we have the A octave interval, E minor, B. So we're following that progression. And then we go up an octave. And that's kind of what we're doing until we go back to, have to look and see what notes I'm playing in the music I composed. But that's what we're doing. We're following this progression. Again, E minor. Anytime it says E minor slash C, the C is down with the left hand, and the right hand is playing that E minor chord, because there isn't a C in the E minor triad. But we have E minor slash C, E minor slash A, E minor slash B. So what is happening, and I'll come back here to the overhead view again so you can see better, but we have E minor with the right hand. The left hand is playing the C octave interval. And the right hand, I just happened to do this. I'm using these notes. It's a pentascale. Technically, this is E minor. The E major pentascale does that right there. So this is the E minor pentascale. It's a simple 5-note scale, but I'm just using those 5 notes. And what we're going to do is, if you notice, I'm doing this, and then I play E, F sharp, and A. Then I go back to the E minor triad. Then I play this, That's just an A minor triad, second inversion, root position, first inversion, second inversion. That's all I'm doing, and then the left hand is creating the movement. We're doing this kind of play, and I wanted it to sound like it was something from medieval time periods, you know, going to battle, and that's why this piece is actually titled "Call to Arms," because I wanted to envision like a two opposing sides fighting each other, a battle that was beginning, and that's why I added a fun acoustic classical guitar to the album and to the music video, but we're just doing that progression. And then we go up an octave with the right hand. You can do this with your own compositions when you're composing music. Let me come back to the front view here for a second. It's a pretty simple way to start to play around. If I go back to the music video, and this is in the middle of the music video, so it's not at the beginning, but if I go to the music video, now listen to what that piano part is doing. Okay, kind of interesting as you're listening to the different sounds. Now it has the acoustic guitar part. We're following a simple chord progression. E minor. We start with E minor, and then we go to B major. Oh, hold on. Pause that video. E minor, then we go to B major, then we go to D major, and then we go to A major. That's pretty much it, the entire chord progression. I want you to try to compose something in a similar style. Now, you can do any new age. The fun thing is, with my book, Essential New Age Piano Exercises Every Piano Player Should Know, we have all these different left-hand patterns that you can start to play around with. And you can take these left-hand patterns and you can compose and create music of your own. And I give you examples where I create and show you my own music that I've composed. But as an example, here is an exercise found on page, let's see where this is. This is on page 82 from my book, Essential New Age Piano Exercises. This is found on page 82 right here. Let me show you what this does. So on page 82, I'm going to go back to the overhead view. This is from my book, Essential New Age Piano Exercises. We're playing in 6/8 time signature. Okay, so let me show you right here. This is what we're doing. We are in 6/8 time signature. We take, in this instance, we're starting on A, G, F, E. the chord progression is A minor, G major, F major, E minor. And we're just descending and going down following this chord progression. Watch what happens. I'll start here. Now it's 6/8 time signature. We're playing all eighth notes with the right hand, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. But we're just coming down. And then we start playing around with it a bit. And this is just an example to show you how you can start taking a simple chord progression, A minor, G major, F major, E minor, and start playing around. Again, I'm just descending 6, 5, 4, 3. I'm moving down, but we're doing a new each sounding piece. And that's all we're doing. What if I decided to play that chord progression, but I'm going to break it apart? So on page 83, top of page 83 in the book, right here, that's what I do. The left hand plays the chord, but I have a little arpeggiation that I added. That's what that squiggly line means. When you arpeggiate the chord, you're going to roll the chord. So instead of just playing the triad like that, I would roll it from the bottom to the top. Or if it had a little triangle at the bottom, then you would know to roll it from the top to the bottom. But watch this. And we can go up and invert it where the right hand now does that, what the left hand was doing, and the left hand does what the right hand was doing. Now we're doing octave intervals, but it's the same chord progression. We're just doing octave intervals now. Again, I'm doing octave chords, descending, playing A minor, G major, F major, E minor, doing the octave chords, 6, 5, 4, 3. That's the chord progression, but now we're breaking them apart. Again, this is from my book, Essential New Age Piano Exercises. That is just a fun exercise. And it shows you right there. That's what I just played at the bottom. Da, 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 da. We are breaking it apart. Now, once you turn the page, then I show you Utopia. This is actually from an album that I came out with, The Dawn of a New Age, and piano instrumental New Age album. But this, we start to apply those patterns and progressions. But now we're in the key of C minor, key of E flat major, the relative minor to E flat major. But now we start doing this. Left hand's going to cross over the right hand now. Now we start doing, the left hand is just doing octave intervals, while the right hand is playing a little more intricate patterns let's see. Okay, we're playing these unique sounding patterns that are ascending and descending, going up and down. The right hand, a lot of the time, what I'm doing, according to the minor scale. And sometimes I'm moving in thirds. Up and down doing these thirds. The left hand is doing these octave intervals the entire time. Now, when we get to the next page, now we're doing just broken triads or broken octave chords with the left hand a lot of the time. And then the right hand is just moving up and down according to that C minor scale. Again, we have three flats, B flat, E flat, A flat. So relative minor to E flat major. Now the left hand, we're just doing this. Remember, we're in 6/8 time signature. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But then the right hand starts doing this. Let's see. Okay, the left hand is just doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight eighth notes, but we're taking the octave chord, in this case C minor octave chord, but instead of playing the E flat, I drop it and just play 1, 5, 8. And I do that progression following 1, 5, 8, 1, 5, 8, 1, 5, 8, starting on C. Do that for 4 measures, and then we go down for 2 measures to A flat, 1, 5, 8. Then we go up to E flat. We have 2 measures of each, so we actually do each pattern 4 times. Because remember, we're in 6/8 time signature, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're doing that pattern. And then we go down to A flat. Go up to E flat. Go down to B flat. Now, you don't have to compose what I composed following the chord progression or following the music that I composed, but if you followed this chord progression where you did 2 measures of each, starting on C, going down to A flat, jumping up to E flat, then down to B flat, you could just take the notes from the C minor scale. If you want to, in the beginning, just try the C minor pentascale. Instead of doing the full scale, just do these 5 notes right here, C, D, E flat, F, G. And then try to play around following that chord progression. I would get the left hand going first and then add the right hand. I'm going to play C, D, E flat, F, G. Any note, any rhythm, and it will sound good. Watch this. Okay, now I started adding some surrounding notes, but let's say I did the entire scale and tried following that chord progression. Now remember, we're in 6/8 time signature, and I'm doing 2 measures starting on C. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 1 measure. That's 1 measure. We're going to do 2 measures. And then go down to A flat for 2 measures. Then go up to E flat for 2 measures. Then go down to B flat for 2 measures. Remember, key of E flat major, if we start on C, that's the 6th in the chord progression. So the 6th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 6. So the chord progression we're following is 6. Think of it like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're starting with 6, going down to 4, going up to 1, down to 5. It's a simple 6, 4, 1, 5 chord progression in a New Age style. Many times we've used the 6, 4, 1, 5 chord progression in pop or rock, jazz, blues style, but now we're doing this with a New Age chord progression. Again. Okay. What if I did the entire C minor scale? You're going from C to C and playing all white keys except for B flat, E flat, and A flat. Those 3 flats. Every time you see the B, the E, or the A, play the flat. So then it's C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C. Now, if I did that with I can play those notes in order, or I can play them out of order. Let's say I just play them in order for now, following this chord progression, just to give you a flair of how you can start to create. Okay. Yeah. Now I started playing around, but initially I was just going up and down playing the C minor scale. Now, in this piece that I created from my album, The Dawn of a New Age, this one is titled Utopia. Again, this is from my book, Essential New Age Piano Exercises. Here, I didn't do that. I changed the right hand, but the left hand is still that pattern that you were playing before. See how I changed the pattern a bit with the right hand just to create a fun melody. That's my composition. Don't do that. But you can create your own, okay, following this simple chord progression. Remember, we're playing C minor, A flat major, E flat major, B flat major. We're in 6/8 time signature, and the left hand is playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do 2 measures of each. Go to E flat. Go to B flat. And just play around with this. You can start to create your own music, and it sounds great. Again, start with the C minor pentascale. You can stick with the C minor pentascale and have the left hand change the chord progressions, or when you change the chord progression from the C to the A flat, start with C minor pentascale, then go to the A flat, then go to E flat, and then go to B flat. If that's too difficult, if that's too challenging, then just stay with the C minor pentascale the entire time, and it still sounds good. Again, take the right hand, play it any order, any rhythm, any note, C, D, E flat, F, or G, any of those notes, any order, any rhythm, and it will sound good. That's all I'm doing. I'm following that progression. Now, if you feel comfortable doing that, when your left hand changes, just do the pentascale that corresponds with A flat, E flat, and B flat. So it would sound more like this. Now, I'm only doing a pentascale with my right hand. Then, when you feel more comfortable, you can change according to the chord progression. Remember, C minor, A flat major, E flat major, B flat major. Then you can do the full scale. Oh, I'm sorry. forgot my A flat there. Okay, always keep the B flat, E flat, and A flat as you're playing around. But again, you can see it's simple to do, and then you just start creating a melody. Maybe you want to start with the C minor chord, and maybe just break it apart. Just come up with a melody, a melodic line. We're using the C minor scale. Maybe you want to start with 1, 5, C, G, and then E flat, F, G. What if I played C, G, E flat, F, G, and then I played C, G, E flat, F, E flat, and then I went back and forth between the two patterns? And it kind of sounds nice. The left hand, again, is following that chord progression of C minor, A flat major, E flat major, B flat major, and the left hand is just doing a 1, 5, 8. We're in 6/8 time signature, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. I forgot what I did with my right hand before. Now I changed it completely. That's not what I did before, but I like that. But you can see how you can change and take the pattern. I don't know, I'm just playing around, but it's something that you can start to do. Again, we're taking a simple progression. We're taking a left-hand pattern. Now, I was just using this as an example to help you understand how you can start composing music of your own. This is just my book, Essential New Age Piano Exercises, and this was a simple left-hand pattern from my piece that I had composed. Let's see, back here, Utopia. We started with that as an example, and we used Utopia. That's from my album, The Dawn of a New Age. And so the sheet music is in this book, but it's from the album, The Dawn of a New Age. And so I showed that as an example of what you could do. And then I also showed you an example from Call to Arms, one of my latest books, not my most recent, but one of my latest books and albums, Adventure Awaits. Again, if I go back to the sheet music right here, from what we did at the very beginning of this lesson, you can see we're just following a simple chord progression. Create a simple composition following a chord progression. Stick with that chord progression and take the notes and break them apart. That is heroism from the book. And then we have fortitude from the book. Okay, that one right there, look at the chord progression. This is the same key signature we've been playing in this entire time. C minor, A flat major, E flat major, B flat major. This is the exact same chord progression I've been teaching and showing you. Let me show you this one as an example, just to have you look at this. This is heroism, okay? Oh, no, this is fortitude. So with fortitude, we actually have this chord progression. Now we're doing C minor, A flat major, E flat major, B flat major. That's the chord progression we are following as we go through and play this. Let me see if I may or may not have the video for this. Let me see if this is one of the ones that I did have the video for. No, this video actually I think is coming up later today. So I don't even have the video up for this one. The music, you can actually listen to the album on Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, Amazon. It's fully orchestrated as all of the pieces from this book and album are. But I think you'd have fun playing through this. It's a fun piece. You can see again, we're following a simple chord progression. The chord progression is not too difficult all the way throughout. We actually stick with that C minor, A flat major, E flat major, B flat major. We start doing octave chords, measure 23. Starting in measure 27 there, we do start to break apart that chord progression. Now the left hand is moving up, doing kind of an arpeggiated broken chord. The right hand is coming down. Now again, the left hand is ascending, the right hand is descending. You have one hand that is going higher. Sorry, I need to pull this down so you can see what I'm doing there. Bottom of page 44, measure 35. We have this. Sorry. And then we go to the next page right here where we do this. Now it does get high, so I did write in the notes right there for you. Let's see. Hold on. So it has a lot of moving, intricate parts, but it's kind of fun going up and going down. Sometimes it's fun to have in your own compositions, have the right hand go up while the left hand goes down, or have the right hand come down while the left hand goes up, and then they meet in the middle. See, there are different ways that you can actually move the music. If you think of it like going up, coming down, going up, coming down. Well, both hands can go up together where they're both going up together, coming down, going up, coming down. Or you can have the right hand go up and the left hand go down. So they do this, and then they come together, and then they go up, and then. So you can think of it. Arnold Schoenberg, used to compose music, and many times he would actually start creating this amazing, beautiful music, and people would say, wow, what was the inspiration by that? And he would say, stock market. He would just take a graph of what the stock market was doing, going up, going down, and then he would plot and come up with notes. It would go up, it would go down, it would change. So he could come up with a melody where both hands were going up, then hitting the high note and then coming down. You could have both hands going up and coming down, or you could have one hand going in an opposite direction, and it creates a pretty melody. If you're taking, let's say I just take G, C, D, E. Well, that's a C major triad. If I add the second, this is a C major triad. This is a C sus2 triad. This is C add 2. If you have the seventh, then it would be adding the ninth with that. But I'm just going to take those notes and then create something. Well, what if I did that with the right hand, but the left hand just went up and then down? And I did that pattern. Okay, my right hand is playing the C major add 2 chord, inverted, root position, first inversion, second inversion, third inversion. And we're just breaking those notes apart. My left hand started on C, then I went down to A, then F, then G. 1, 6, 4, 5. But my left hand was going up. Now, I think of this as a 1, 5, 8, 9, 10, 12 left hand pattern. 1, 5, 8, 9, 10, 12. You can go up and down. I can start on A and do the same thing. I can start on F and do the same thing. Okay, then I can start on G. Okay, I can start on any note I want. I'm just following a chord progression, but my right hand was taking these notes right here. That's all my right hand was doing. Okay, you want to give yourself enough room so your hands don't collide up here. It's a fun progression. It's a fun pattern. It's not too difficult, but it gives you some ideas for how to compose music on your own. This is creative composition, so we're focusing on how to be creative in your own composition. Now, I was only using this book, Essential New Age Piano Exercises, and then I was also using some of the left-hand patterns found in this book, 100 Left-Hand Patterns Every Piano Player Should Know. Those were the only two books I was using to demonstrate left-hand patterns, and then I did use my book right here. This is Adventure Awaits. That's what I was showing you with the videos and then the music. So that I was showing you this right here. All of these books are available from my website, musicmotivation.com, as PDF downloads. You can buy the paperback books on amazon.com. But again, just some fun, new age sounding music. You can listen to this album. Well, it's taking me a while to get to the top. Sorry. I should have just scrolled up to the top. So you can listen to this entire album of Adventure Awaits on Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, Amazon, my YouTube videos on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Gerald Simon. But check it out. Let me know what you think. I'd love to have you try to compose something this weekend or this week throughout the weekend in a new age style, following what you've practiced and what you've learned from this lesson. Again, the left hand, we were playing some songs in 4/4 time signature and some songs in 6/8 time signature. Get your rhythm down, figure out what notes, what key signature. We were primarily playing in the key of C minor, the relative minor to E flat major, where you have 3 flats. You have B flat, E flat, and A flat, and then the rest of the keys are just white keys. But once you have your scale down, once you know what your chords are, we were following a simple chord progression: C minor, A flat major, E flat major, B flat major. Once you know the chord progression, once you know some of the notes that you're going to be using, like we just used the C minor pentascale, C, D, E flat, F, G. Once you know that, play around. Take the notes and play them any rhythm you want. Play them any order you want. If you know that you're going to be playing around with 5 notes from the right hand, C, D, E flat, F, and G, that's the C minor pentascale, the first 5 notes from the C minor scale. If you know that you're going to play around with those notes, hold down those notes in any order, any rhythm. Go up high, play the C minor pentascale, C, D, E flat, F, G up high. Go down low, play those notes down low. With the left hand, just start off with a simple 1-5-8 left hand pattern, following the chord progression: C minor, A flat major, E flat major, B flat major. Remember, it's a 6-4-1-5 chord progression. We're playing in a new age style, but the left hand, 5-8, which would be C, G, C if you're starting on C. If you start on A flat, it's A flat, E flat, A flat. If you start on E flat, it's E flat, B flat, E flat. If you start on B flat, it's B flat, F, B flat. And then you just start improvising, composing, and creating music of your own. Try it, see what you can come up with. But I think you'll have a fun time composing something in a new age style and then really letting your own musical voice be heard. That is what is so fun, is to discover your own music within. Let me know if you have any questions. Hope this video helped, but hope you have a great rest of the week. Thanks so much. You're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. Appreciate it. See you later. Bye.